the MVP race is very tight right now between Jokic, of course, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai has been consistent all year. I know Jokic started out in Denver a little bit slower, but what he's doing, the numbers he's putting up has been phenomenal. Could this be a year that is so close that they could be co-MVPs?
Yeah, they could. And I would throw Giannis in that too. If Giannis has the kind of finish, I don't know about his games, and I'm guessing he won't have enough if they sit him a little bit, but he's put up great numbers as well. But no, I think SGA and Jokic are the two favorites, and if both are deserving, there's no question about that. What I would say is, if Jokic doesn't win the MVP, and I'm assuming this is now with an assumption that they finish as they're playing now, like the numbers are kind of the same for the final month, it will be a lot of voter fatigue on Jokic, because he's actually having his best year.
Yeah, statistically.
and he's already got MVPs.
Yeah.
And so, and again, like I love Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but statistically, I got a hard time reconciling that with Jokic, who across the board, I mean, if you want to go on an analytics piece, you go there. SGA deserves it, though. And if he was named MVP, I don't have an MVP vote, Jimmy. I don't know if you do, but I don't have one. Either. But I wouldn't shame any voter who had SGA over Jokic. I just personally believe that Jokic is, however you define most valuable player, but he is the most valuable player. But your era, that happened all the time with Michael Jordan.
Big time. Karl Malone,
like he could have had a run of MVPs for forever. I mean, Shaq and Kobe too. Like, it's totally fine, and they both deserve it. And a co-MVP, I don't know if I like that, but
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
But
it's so close.
Arguments.
I think it's Shai just because from beginning to end, this momentum came with Jokic kind of a little bit later.
Yeah.
OKC has been the best team. And again, winning has a lot to do with it, but not all. But SGA has been consistent the whole year. It hasn't been an up and down. And I think that from an MVP perspective and him being able to keep his team above and beyond the best team, consistent. Again, he has help, and his roster makeup is a lot different than Denver's. Okay. But the consistency in what I've seen with him all year. Now, and both too, a lot of times his minutes, I know he's 30 plus something minutes, but a lot of times he's putting up these numbers like Jokic when minutes are less. Because
they're blowing it. They're blowing everybody out.
And he's still putting up these numbers in a compressed period of time. And that says a lot, man. And I'm like you, Brian. If Jokic was to get it, I wouldn't be mad. If I had to vote, I would vote for SGA this year, just because this is a different year for him. But in any other year it would have been Jokic. I mean, it's
I think this back and forth we're having is exactly what MVP voters will have to reconcile. And I do think that that's exactly the argument. So yes, Oklahoma City, their margin of victory is crazy. Like SGA is putting up numbers basically in a little over 3 quarters because they don't need him in the fourth. You take SGA away from Oklahoma City, you take Jokic away from Denver. That's a no-brainer. The flip side of that argument, though, is that Jokic has to score and rebound, and he does. And because he doesn't have as many weapons around him. So, like, if you put SGA on the Nugget, if you just traded those two straight up, they would still put up massive numbers. So, it is going to be a total preference of what you think as a voter, what you think is most important. And that's why a little voter fatigue can come into this picture.
Yes.
And it always has, and it does in every sport. Doesn't mean that both of these guys don't deserve it and never have an MVP seasons. And I would say Giannis is having that kind of year. Jason Tatum's having a great year. And that's why they have first team all NBA because there's something for it if they get to enough games, 65 games. So man, I mean, you've just I think we've just symbolized exactly the tussle that voters are going to have when they do that. And then you got to just vote with your conscience and, down the road, whoever doesn't win it, it'll be, hey, he should have won the MVP that year, and people will fight to the death on who they believe should have won it. So, and that's kind of what makes it all fun, anyway. So, we're all for that too. Those arguments.
Check out new episodes of the Jim Jackson Show every Thursday. Watch on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page. Follow the show on Instagram @Jim Jackson Show, or listen wherever you get your podcasts.